the Two Rivers stands alone against the shadow. With a blacksmith.
Just to be sure, there's a spoiler. The Wheel of Time Season 3's penultimate episode concluded with a massive battle for the fate of the Two Rivers community. The fight between the Two Rivers folks and Padan Fain's Trolloc army is what Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time books referred to as the Battle of Emond's Field. Similar to how things transpired in the TV show, the Battle of Emond's Field served as the culmination of Perrin Aybara's story in The Shadow Rising, the fourth book in the series. Although Goldeneyes wasn't a season finale, the scale and intensity of the fighting were comparable to the Battle of Falme, which occurred in the Wheel of Time Season 2 finale. And like that story, which was based on the Great Hunt's ending, the Battle of Emond's Field leaned heavily on Jordan's work, recreating several story beats and twists, delivering book-accurate character moments, while also making some unexpected changes along the way. In fact, it reversed 3 of the most pivotal moments in The Shadow Rising.
Violence never ends until someone says enough.
Welcome to Movie Spy. Loyal didn't die closing the Waygate. Loyal risked his life but lived to fight another day. In The Wheel of Time Season 3, Episode 7, Loyal informed Perrin of his decision to close the Waygate, with Bain and Chiad both insisting on coming along. The plan was treated much like a suicide mission, with Perrin and Loyal even sharing an emotional farewell before his departure and eventual sacrifice from within the Waygate. Loyal's plan did indeed come from the Shadow Rising, though its version came with fewer consequences. Going against Perrin's warning to everyone that no one should risk leaving the Two Rivers, Loyal went regardless and was accompanied by Gaul, not Bain and Chiad. What went on during Loyal and Gaul's trip to the Waygate wasn't shown. However, it was confirmed that they were successful in their efforts. Loyal returned with a wounded Gaul, as the two were beset by Trollocs during their mission. Gaul's injuries were the extent of the consequences of their actions, whereas the show made Loyal pay the ultimate price. Fain left Two Rivers and brought back reinforcements. Fain agreed to leave so that she could get help. In the episode, Perrin tried and failed to convince the Wheel of Time's Fain Bashir to save herself, arguing that this wasn't her fight. Unsurprisingly, it didn't work, and Fain remained at Perrin's side, willing to fight the Trollocs to the end. Like the TV character, Perrin's book counterpart was also intent on keeping Fain out of harm's way, with the big difference being that Fain agreed to leave. It would seem that Perrin thought he could keep her safe by sending her away for reinforcements. His motives aside, the plan worked out brilliantly, as Fain's mission to get help is ultimately what helped them turn the tide against the Trollocs. Upon her return, Fain brought back the people of Devon Ride, a neighboring community. With Devon Ride joining the fight and the Waygate closed, the Two Rivers folk were able to repel the Trollocs and save their homes. The White Cloaks agreed to help, then backed out. Dane Bornold wouldn't let the White Cloaks help the Two Rivers. Given that they weren't necessary to their victory, Devon Ride played no role in Goldeneyes. That's because the Wheel of Time's White Cloaks chose a different path from the book characters. Both stories saw Perrin propose an alliance between the Two Rivers folk and the Children of the Light, with Dane Bornhald refusing the offer in the TV series, but accepting it in The Shadow Rising. Interestingly, Dane changed his mind in both versions of the Battle of Emond's Field. After initially electing to stand by and let the Trollocs weaken or kill them, the TV version of Dane Bornhald made a last-minute decision to join forces with Perrin and the others. As for what he did in The Shadow Rising, Dane Bornhald broke his promise to help by ordering his men to stand down during the attack. This is what made the assistance of Devon Ride essential to the survival of the Two Rivers in the book, but not the show. The Two Rivers folk wouldn't let the White Cloaks take Perrin. Perrin never surrendered to the White Cloaks. Dane Bornhald's different decision in The Wheel of Time Season 3, Episode 7 set up yet another reversal of the books, which was Perrin's surrender to the White Cloaks. In an apparent nod to the teachings of the Tuathan, Perrin advised the Two Rivers folk not to attack when the White Cloaks came for him at the end of the episode. This stands in stark contrast to The Shadow Rising, where the Two Rivers folk drove off White Cloaks, refusing to let Perrin be captured. The difference, of course, comes down to Dane Bornhald's actions in the Battle of Emond's Field. Because he did help and honor his agreement with Perrin, there was much less resistance in the Wheel of Time show, especially since Perrin said he intended to hold up his end of the deal. The White Cloaks from the Shadow Rising, though, were in a considerably worse position. They tried to take Perrin despite breaking their promise to help, so it was no surprise that they were turned away. Thanks for watching.